Why Trump has a point about wind turbines. Wind energy's turbulent reality. A wake-up call for green advocates. The promise of clean, renewable wind energy is hitting some major turbulence. Recent developments with Vineyard Wind have exposed cracks in the foundation of the green energy revolution. And it's time we face some uncomfortable truths. Here's a shocker. Those championing wind farms may be just as evasive as the fossil fuel executives they criticize. Reports of Vineyard Wind officials going into hiding amid mounting issues paint a troubling picture. Since when did renewable energy projects require the kind of secrecy we'd expect from a classified nuclear facility? But here's where it gets really interesting. We're witnessing a costly lesson in the pitfalls of rushing headlong into unproven technology. Billions of dollars have been poured into wind farms that are proving to be far more problematic than advertised. From noise pollution to wildlife impacts, the drawbacks are piling up faster than the alleged benefits. And this is the part most people miss. The so-called Green New Deal is starting to look more like a Green New Scam. Vineyard Wind's struggles are just the tip of the iceberg, exposing how ill-conceived and poorly executed many of these grand, eco-friendly schemes really are. Now, I know mentioning Trump is controversial, but hear me out. His stance against wind turbines, often ridiculed, may deserve a second look. While his delivery was characteristically blunt, the core of his argument, that these massive structures are both an eyesore and ecologically questionable, is gaining credibility as more data emerges. So here's a thought-provoking question for you. Have we been too quick to dismiss critiques of wind energy as ignorant or politically motivated? Are we letting our desire for clean energy blind us to very real problems? Let's spark a debate. Do you think the push for wind energy has been misguided, or are these just growing pains on the path to a greener future? Share your thoughts below. Agreement or fierce disagreement, welcome. Trump's wind energy controversy. Facts versus claims. Wind energy is under fire again, and this time it's Donald Trump reigniting the debate with a bold claim. It's all a con job. But is there any truth to his tirade against turbines? Let's dive into the facts and separate rhetoric from reality. During a recent visit to Scotland, Trump didn't hold back. Speaking to reporters at Prestwick Airport, he painted a grim picture of wind turbines, calling them eyesores that ruin beautiful fields and valleys, kill birds, and destroy oceans when placed offshore. His criticism didn't stop there. At a press conference with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, he labeled wind energy ineffective and later referred to turbines as ugly monsters during a meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Instead, he urged a focus on North Sea oil and gas. But here's where it gets controversial. Trump's opposition to wind energy isn't new. It dates back to a long-running battle with Scottish authorities over 11 turbines visible from his Turnberry Golf Resort. Despite his legal challenge being dismissed by the UK Supreme Court in 2015, his recent comments have reignited the debate. So let's examine his claims one by one. Claim 1. Wind energy is the most expensive form of energy. Trump insists wind power is costly and inefficient. However, a 2025 report by the International Renewable Energy Agency, IRENA, tells a different story. Globally, wind power is now 53% cheaper than the lowest-cost fossil fuel alternative, with onshore wind being the most affordable new power source. Since 2010, onshore wind costs have dropped by 56%, thanks to technological advancements, competitive supply chains, and scaled-up manufacturing. And this is the part most people miss. While the UK government has increased the maximum guaranteed price for offshore wind to £113 per megawatt hour, this isn't the final cost. Companies bid lower to win contracts, and last year's auction saw prices significantly below the maximum. Meanwhile, wholesale gas prices fluctuate wildly, reaching over 170 pounds per megawatt hour in 2022. Claim 2. Wind turbines rust and rot in 8 years. Trump claims turbines degrade quickly and are impossible to dispose of, but ARENA reports their average lifespan is 20 to 25 years, with some modern turbines lasting 30 years or more. For instance, Scottish Power repowered Scotland's oldest onshore wind farm in 2023, which had been operating since 1998. Here's the twist. While 80 to 95% of turbine materials like steel and concrete are recyclable, the fiberglass or carbon fiber blades pose a challenge. However, the European wind industry pledged in 2021 to recycle 100% of decommissioned blades, and innovations like cement additives and upcycling, turning blades into bridges or parking structures, are gaining traction. Claim 3. Almost all wind turbines are made in China. Trump isn't entirely wrong here. China dominates global turbine manufacturing, accounting for 60% of production capacity. Yet, Europe remains a significant player, with 19% of global manufacturing and 90% of European wind projects using locally made turbines as of 2024. Still, with lower Chinese costs and soaring demand, countries are increasingly looking eastward. Claim 4. Wind turbines are killing birds. Trump's assertion that turbines harm wildlife, including whales and birds, is partially true but lacks context. While turbines do cause bird fatalities, they pale in comparison to threats like cats, power lines, and climate change. Solutions like painting blades with contrasting patterns or using AI to shut down turbines when birds approach are being explored. Location is key. Careful site selection can dramatically reduce risks. Claim 5. Wind energy failed in Germany. Trump claims Germany's wind experiment flopped, but the data says otherwise. In 2024, wind power generated 28% of Germany's electricity, making it the largest single source. Renewables overall accounted for nearly 60% of the energy mix, with wind and solar surpassing fossil fuels for the first time in the first 9 months of the year. Now, let's spark some debate. Is Trump's criticism of wind energy a valid concern about its limitations, or is it a misguided attack on a vital part of the renewable energy transition? Do the challenges of turbine disposal and bird fatalities outweigh the benefits of cleaner energy? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going.